What is going on, my friends? My name is Parker Andriese, DJ of 10 years and host of Behind the Energy podcast. I've been able to meet some pretty awesome people along the way, and we're bringing them on here to go behind the energy, sharing their stories, lessons learned, and shine light on some of their major milestones. If you're into DJing, the event industry, or entrepreneurship, I think you'll dig the show. I really appreciate you being here with me. Now that we've set the table, it's time to jump right in and get started with today's episode. Party people, listeners, YouTubers, and my brother listens to like 3 or 4 episodes every now and then. My mom does. I think she's listened to like 2 episodes. Listeners, friends, welcome to Behind the Energy podcast, episode 45, part 2 with Princess and Brandon Moreland. If you didn't check out episode 44 of their love story and the Panda Express, what would I call that? Love at first sight experience, if you will.
Yep.
And that was really terrible. You want to go check that out so then you can get a really good understanding of who these awesome people are that I'm talking to. We spent a lot of time talking about their story as a couple early, and then we kind of transitioned to their experience as professional photographers as a duo team, and traveling, doing different shoots, and also working with different brands and such. And I think that's an appropriate place to transition. Prior to doing weddings, you were working with brands, and they were, reaching out to them, sending products and whatnot, and doing styled shoots with people. So you were already familiar and interested in kind of like brand management and content creation and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you had then grown into the wedding industry and such. Let's talk a little bit more about the brand management and content creation.
Yeah.
As there's been the growth with weddings and transition, where and how have things grown with content creation? I know you manage multiple clients now.
Yep.
What was the thought process as you kind of made that transition, and kind of like just provide a little bit more context for me and the listeners into what it looks like now?
This is all Brandon's.
Was that decent? Did I butcher that?
No, that was perfect.
Great.
That was
Okay.
perfect.
Okay, so I should start. Let's see. How should I start this?
Well, I guess from my end, I was already building my platform. Sorry, that was weird. I was already building my platform as a content creator, influencer. And then I went into photography. So I was like, okay, shoot, now I have to transition to learning how to use social media to grow my business. So Instagram was my main source. That's how I was doing it. Built my website, but Instagram was like my main source of clientele, referrals, everything. And then I was doing all that while going to school. And then Brandon, I kind of like put into his head like, hey, like, you're going to school for marketing.
Yeah, she was like,
do something
well,
about
she
it.
actually picked the marketing degree. Actually,
I did.
She was like,
Is that the one that landed of the 4?
Yeah.
There it is.
So
Okay.
there it is.
Yeah.
So it was business, hospitality, dietitian, and then marketing. Because she was like, oh, you love like branding and like
Social media,
and like you'd be great at marketing. And I was like, really? I'm like, I don't know. And then I did the marketing degree and I loved it. And I was like, oh, this is sick.
What about it did you love? What drew your interest to it?
Just
like what sticked?
Yeah. Really learning about people's like
Stuck. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're good.
Sorry, Brandon. Please continue.
You're good.
I'm an idiot. We're gonna need to chop that one out.
Oh no. No, just learning about people's like they call it psychodemographic. Learning about psychologically what or how people buy things and why. And that was basically what the marketing degree was. I mean, it kind of went into play of like SEO or SEO, social media, but it was really like why people buy things and like how.
The decision process.
Yeah, exactly. The decision making process of buying that thing.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then with like my little taste of owning a business and then seeing my mom have hers, I was like, well, Brandon, you could totally just create like a marketing agency or something. And then it went into like, okay, well, now we got to figure out how you're going to find clients and how we're going to start this.
And then, so it's actually a funny story. So her uncle owns a property management company in Maui. And I was talking to him and I was like, hey, are you doing anything for marketing? Are you posting on like Instagram, Facebook? He's like, no. I'm like, you should probably start doing that. It's a good way to market. And he's like, no, I have a better idea. Why don't you do it? And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, like I'll contract out to you. You just need a business license. You need to get your EDI.
EIN.
EIN.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I do all the numbers and stuff for him. So
I had no idea.
Employee identification number.
Yeah, exactly. So I had no idea what any of those meant. I was just like, okay, cool. Like, I'll do your marketing. Like, what does that entail? He's like, oh, so you just have to get that and then we'll put you on payroll. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, what?
TTYL.
Yeah, seriously.
that's how it happened. And then he was supposed to have a meeting with like the other managers, and then there ended up being like this huge fire.
That never happened.
So it never happened.
It was scheduled for like 3 weeks.
And then
every single time we were supposed to meet, something happened.
Because their office is on like the completely other side of the island, and there's only, there's 2 ways to get in, but really, like, there's only one way to get in unless you go down like the sketchy road. So there's only one way in, one way out. And then it got to the point where they're like, you know what, Brandon, just
do
here's
it.
the login, go do it. And he did it, and he hit the ground running.
That was my first client.
So what were some of the things you did? Because it sounds like that was up to you to create like your core responsibilities.
Yeah.
What were some of the things you jumped on immediately?
So it was really, really basic at that point. Instagram was like really.
There was no reels.
Yeah, there was no reels. There was no stories.
No, there were stories.
Oh, there was stories.
There were stories, but no, people didn't use it like they're using it now.
They didn't. You didn't see like, home remodeling companies or like maybe like I don't know, what's something that's still like even kind of unique to Instagram right now.
Well,
like,
even just the industry itself, like, because it's a property management company, so it's all Airbnbs and
so
short-term
it
rentals.
wasn't really that market was not on there at all.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was more like, so I had this thought and I was like, okay, well, Hawaii, obviously, like beautiful beaches, luxurious. So I just started posting like random like beach photos and then throwing in like units there, here and there. And then we also came up with the idea of like themes for like the days. So it'd be like Whale Wednesday. What's another one?
Turtle Tuesday.
Turtle Tuesday. Stuff like that. It wasn't really, it had no substance to it.
But it was unique, fun, and engaging.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then at that point, I wasn't really doing anything much. I would throw ideas out to him here and there, and like kind of we'd bounce ideas off of each other. But I wasn't working like I wasn't like
it was just mine.
It was just kind of like,
it was just mine.
Hey, what do you think about this? And then he'd like do it, or he'd ask me like, hey, what do you think? Should I do this? And I was like, yeah, do it, or whatnot. And then COVID hit, and I was like, shoot, I don't know if they're gonna keep anybody on because nobody's traveling to Hawaii, but they kept Brandon on. And then,
I got a pay cut, but that's okay.
You were still a consistent.
I was still consistent. Yeah, exactly. Wow. And like to that point, it was back in 2019 when I first started. I tried to get more clients, but in Hawaii, that they don't really understand the importance of social media.
I remember you mentioning that to me.
Yeah. So it was really a hard thing. I'm like, oh, do you need help with? They're like, no. Like, we're a mom and pop. We've been here for 30 plus years. Like we don't need it.
Yeah.
Don't want to maybe explore other options.
Yeah.
Or a bigger picture.
Yeah,
perhaps.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we've gotten screwed over a couple times also. Like we had a few meetings, we did some audits for people, and then
they would take our idea and hire someone else for cheaper to do our idea.
How did you combat that, or what did you like learn from that, or like how did you stop that from happening and then begin to retain more clients?
We
just don't give anything up for free.
Yeah.
Honestly,
what do you mean by that?
So we do free audits still,
okay,
but we don't dive in as deep as we did in the
beginning.
Interesting. Okay,
because we would go through the whole business
and give them like
to
the T exactly what they have to do, and then we realized like shoot, they're just taking our ideas and running with it. And I was like, I don't like that because I just spent how many hours doing this thing for them. I didn't get anything out of it. I didn't even get a client out of it.
Wow.
So that's definitely like
that's a huge learning curve.
Yeah,
for sure.
Was something that I was like, I'm never doing this ever again.
So essentially, you're consuming the whole company. It's very detailed conversation or conversations.
Yep.
And then coming up with a proposal.
Yep.
And rather than like giving them everything in that proposal, it's like, here's an introduction of how we can really leverage what you got going on and increase your sales, or broaden your business, or reach different demographics.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's see here. So this is interesting, bro. In terms of growing and retaining more clients, like, has there been any that you've absolutely loved working with, or is there maybe even like a tip or two that you can share for like other entrepreneurs out there that like
that want to get into this space?
That's easy for them to like step up their content creation or social media game.
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah. So there's so many things that I could say.
The one client that we love, and I want more of these clients. So if you're a person that loves, I'm your guy. But no.
Just plug that in there real quick. No,
it's public.
Yeah. So out of all the clients that we have, we love working with like the small businesses and stuff. But the most enjoyable for us is our clients that are public figures and like professional athletes.
Those are so fun.
That's
so
right.
Much fun.
So fun.
Right. We talked about this at coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like tips for, business, tips for businesses getting out there. Don't be afraid to get creative, and you don't have to do silly dances.
Wait, what?
You don't have to do silly dances?
The amount of times, every time that we speak with somebody and we're like, hey, you got to get on short form videos. They're like, well, I don't want to do a dance. I'm like, you don't have to do a dance. It's not
required to become viral.
No, it's
why
not
do you think
required.
that became a thing? Or like, why is that? Well, why is that an assumption?
I think because they saw these Gen Z
Charlie D'Amelio, Dixie, all
and
of
that's
them.
how they got big.
So
because they did dances, so everybody was like, "Oh, TikTok is for dancing."
Just related that. Okay.
Exactly.
That makes
so
sense.
The amount of times that we have to tell that to, like during all of our discovery calls, like they're always like, "Well, I don't want to go on TikTok because I don't want to dance." Like you don't have to dance. There's so many ways to take a trend and twist it to your niche.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you on the spot right now.
Do it.
If I didn't want to like dance in front of my turntables and like try and look really cool and make DJing look sick, or like make this podcast look even cooler than it already is,
doper than it is,
what recommendation would you give me to make a reel that doesn't require me to like put on a show and dance or whatever? Just on the spot right now.
Just spitting out straight educational content.
Okay.
You'd be very surprised with how well those do. Where you just set up your camera. And, for the wedding industry, right? 3 things to look for in a DJ. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Done.
Just like that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Or what would you look for in a DJ, Princess?
Well, if I love
This is not a plug for me. I'm genuinely just curious.
just event wise, I need a DJ
Because you've
always,
seen quite a few, obviously.
Yeah.
that can read the room.
Yeah.
Because that is so. I've seen so many DJs before that just don't know how to read the room. And like actually have energy while they're doing they're doing that, because I've also seen so many DJs where they look bored out of their minds,
like they're just over there just pressing
pushing
play
buttons. I'm like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
And then also just this comes more from like just being a photographer, but being able to connect with who your client or your couple and other vendors as well is so important. Like to be able to have that good synergy between all vendors at an event is huge, because you can tell when things are like not in line.
Yeah, things are not moving nearly as smoothly. Or there's some disconnection or friction, if you will. I just thought that was a fun thing to throw out there. Let's see here. So jumping back to the content creation, just the tip, you can provide some very simple educational content that does not require next to no thought or like show or lights or like preparation. Very interesting. My friend Ethan Cisneros, I feel like he's a complete role model for that. Like he definitely can like put on a show as like a presenter and grab your attention. But he's also so real in front of the camera. He's been doing it for so long and he's so confident. You're familiar with him. Hopefully you can understand that.
I know. I really want to meet him. So I would love the opportunity.
And he's a robot. It's something else. Sorry, Princess, you're going to jump in there.
No,
real quick.
I was going to say something and then I forgot what I was going to say. Especially if you're in the service industry, don't be afraid to show your personality out there too.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's something that I learned right away when I was a wedding photographer, and we also implement this as well for our own business and, our clients that are public figures or in the service industry. Just because when you put yourself online as a certain person, you also have to remember that that's what people are expecting if they find you on social media when you meet in person.
Yep.
So don't be afraid to just do your thing, be yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like I've collected that from both of you. Yeah. In terms of what I've seen online and just like, the few times that we've been able to connect outside as friends. And then I also feel like Ethan also does a great job at doing that too. Yeah. He's such a role model to me. And I jump back to him multiple times, but the dude ceases to amaze me. Let's see here. So in terms of social media content creation and managing those clients, is there anything else that you want to leave the listeners with? Or like Brandon, you said a specific plug for like a company that you want to work with, like, or maybe where do you want to take the company in the work that you're doing in the next 2-5 years?
I would love to be the biggest marketing agency in Utah. That's my main goal, is to have a big behemoth.
What does that even mean?
Behemoth? It's like a...
It sounds fitting. I don't know.
I know. I'm like, is that
behemoth,
the right word?
I don't know.
It is a word. You can go look it up.
Is that a word, Nick?
Is that the appropriate word?
Are you talking about like a building or like a big behemoth like company?
Yeah, big behemoth company. Yeah.
Behemoth just means big.
Big, yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So you wouldn't say big, just a behemoth.
Yeah, so you just said...
A behemoth,
you said a big.
I feel like a behemoth could be like in some context like intimidating.
Yeah,
it's so big.
Because it's so big.
That's
sorry. There's sometimes he's like, we've been together 7 years and
I pulled
these come up with words.
Oh yeah, I pulled these words and she's like, "Where did those come from?" And I was like, "I don't know."
It sounded right.
It sounded right.
So you want to be a leader in terms
of marketing.
Okay.
Right. Well, I mean, I feel like there's
state.
a lot of marketing agencies in Utah, and I don't know. I feel like we do like a way better job than them. I'm sorry, but we do.
That, but also we do it very differently too. So one thing to add on to like what we do is we don't do anything paid. We focus all on organic growth.
So no paid
and content
ads.
creation. We don't do anything with paid ads, any of that. It's
So
all about
yeah.
catering to your community, building your community in an organic and authentic way. And that's why the clients that we work with are like, they have to be comfortable with that, with doing that. And like being open to like, you're not just another business. Like you actually care about your community because in the end, like those are the ones that really pull through.
This is a long-term investment.
Exactly.
And I just want you to be able to trust us in our methods that we're going to work on together.
Yep.
That, you know, we're not just going to throw $10,000 at the wall and see what it does in 2 weeks or 2 months.
Yeah.
But these are going to be practices that we're implementing for 6 months for this much, you know, a target of this much growth. Okay. I'm glad you specified that.
Yeah.
And I knew that, but I'm, you know, for this context of the podcast, I'm glad you specified that as well.
Yeah.
A behemoth of marketing here in Utah, my friends, doing it naturally and organically. Wow, that was great.
That was great. That was amazing. That was really good.
Wrapped that up. I want to talk about bricks for just a moment.
Oh, yeah.
I had my quad shot iced Americano today, and I have a very unhealthy obsession of coffee, a dependency, if you will.
So do I.
But we've come a long way in the caffeine journey, and you know, I love my coffee is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
We're doing pretty dang good. Talk to the people about bricks. I see you repping the gear up top right there.
Yeah.
I know I got the story a little bit. That was just a mutual love between the two of you. Introduce the idea of bricks, the birth of it, and where it's at now.
So bricks started in what? I think it was 2019.
No.
2020.
It was 2020.
Oh,
it was one of my.
The first, It
was one of my brilliant ideas again.
All of the ideas come from her.
It was definitely on a whim. So, Brandon worked at a coffee shop when we were living on Oahu, and then
Honolulu coffee.
Yeah,
best coffee.
A lot of his time, with school, like doing homework in coffee shops and stuff, and then just COVID shut everything down, and I was like, you know, I just really miss like good coffee. And I told Brian, I was like, what if we like start a coffee company? And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I've already inquired with a few people, a few roasters. And
you said that, or
I said that. At this point, I had already done all the dirty work.
Let's go.
And I was like, well, I've already inquired with a few roasters. They'll get back to me within the week, and then like, let's do this. And he was like, okay. And then we got all the numbers. I plugged it all in, figured everything out, and we got to the marketing part of it. And we're like, okay, well, we're gonna make this coffee company, but like, what?
Who's our target market? Who's our demographic?
And I was like, well, I just felt like there was a lack, especially on Maui, just a lack of support for other entrepreneurs and just like hustlers in general. I know there's like this negative thing with like hustle culture right now, but just having that support and somebody that like not just somebody, but like that community around you. And I don't care if you are an entrepreneur, I don't care if you work a 9 to 5, I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom. Like if you're working your ass off, then like Brick supports you, and that's what we do. So we do, it's premium roasted to order coffee, goes, you know, right to your door. And not on top of that, like we've like, you know, offer that support to other entrepreneurs, other creators, other, like I said, stay-at-home moms, those who like the corporate job, or corporate world and stuff, just people who work their asses off.
I love it. It is, I think I was chatting with Brandon when I got the news that y'all own a coffee shop as well, and he played off like so nonchalant. I'm like, wait, hold the freaking phone. What did you just say to me?
What did you say?
You know, that's not something you just pull out of your ass.
Right.
Then again, in a sense, like you made some calls and like you got the needle moving very quickly. That's dope. Help me understand like how in which like the efforts or the like the aim for bricks, the mission for bricks is coming to life. Like I understand, I feel like I understand it. I want to get a little more context for the listeners and viewers. Maybe is it like a particular action or like something about the culture with the company that y'all do to like, make that mission come to life, if you will? Does that make sense, Princess?
Yes,
Okay.
that does make sense.
Okay.
Yes, so we're very involved with bricks and our customer base and who we serve, and we wanted everybody to know that at the start, like when you're ordering and all that, it's more than just a coffee company. Like you also have us as support. So we have people who reach out to us all the time, not even just, they don't even ask about coffee. They ask about like entrepreneurship and stuff like that. It's just coffee that connects us all together.
Interesting. I feel like with that now on the table, that just opens the door for so much greater possibilities and overlaps very much with the marketing agency.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Yep.
So if I wanted to go re-up on my coffee fix to get it shipped right to my door,
Yes, right to your door.
where am I finna go?
Just brickscoffee.com.
Brickscoffee.com.
Brickscoffee.com. Or shoot us
We
a
have
DM.
merch too.
Yeah, we
You can
got
get this
some new
hat.
merch.
You have the sweatshirt.
There's a sweater on there too.
I do.
Oh yeah.
You got the subtle flex with
It
the
is.
black
Oh,
embroidery.
It's the black
This
embroidery.
isn't a sticker, ladies and gentlemen. It's embroidery.
It's
embroidered.
That's dope. And then that speaks towards like the like the premium like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
high end experience
Yeah,
that you're
exactly.
getting with the flavor as well.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yep.
And everything, all the coffee is all, taste tested by us first. Like I said, we work with a small family-owned roaster. That was something that was super important to us, that our roaster wasn't just like a huge one that's producing for everybody.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's a small family-owned roaster out in Temecula that we work with. And yeah, they're pretty awesome.
How much coffee did you try when you were picking out?
Oh gosh,
lot.
we tried so much, and
And they weren't all good, by the way.
Yeah.
Let me just throw that out there. They all
we
say premium. They're not premium.
We vetoed a lot of them, and that's why our collection is very small, because we are very picky with which ones that we choose. And we also did in a way like we didn't tell our parents about it. I just made a cup of coffee for my mom one day, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, can you try this?" She tried, and she was like, "This is really good. What is this?" And I was like,
This is our
"Do
coffee.
you want to know what this is?"
Well, let me tell you how much time you got.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. Let me get the PowerPoint set up. Real quick.
Right?
You can be an investor.
You can be
Exactly.
a
She
investor.
actually brought she just went to the Philippines, and she brought a whole bunch of coffee to the Philippines. So
That's content, yo.
Yeah.
Oh, has it already been captured?
I have to go talk to her.
Okay.
So, but yeah, she brought a whole bunch of them. We FaceTime, and she's like, "Look what made it to the Philippines before you." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Mom."
That's kind of savage.
Right?
That actually is kind of
Well, it's-
Her
savage.
mom is savage, bro.
It's been almost 15 years since I've been home to the
Really?
Philippines. Yeah.
Really?
So.
Is there a date on the calendar in a year or two?
Well, now that they've opened up, hopefully soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we're hoping within the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know if you need traveling tips, because like I travel a lot,
good?
and I know you guys don't travel like hardly at
I
all.
don't travel at all.
We don't travel at all.
So, no. How do you drink your coffee?
Ooh.
The ultimate question.
The ultimate trick.
I'm straight. I love just Americanos, but also I will drink it straight black sometimes too. Cold brew is my
She
jam.
loves cold brew.
I love cold brew.
Do you drink cold brew black?
I do.
Okay, good. I
Yeah,
love that.
I do.
Thank you.
I do.
Thank you.
I also will even make my own concentrate sometimes, like leave it actually sitting
Yeah.
for days, which is so bad, I know, but it's just so
It's so good.
strong,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
is so good.
Yeah.
So strong, so good. Yeah, that's how I drink. I've also been
AeroPress.
I am hyper
Yes,
fixating on
sir.
AeroPress right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I love AeroPress.
oh god, I'm thinking of something different. Wow,
Do you not know what AeroPress is?
I know there's pour over,
Oh,
there's
no.
AeroPress, there is what's mine? I've got it home.
Mocha?
I'm totally butchering a mocha pot.
Mocha pot.
Mocha pot?
I don't have an AeroPress. I am my French press
Oh yeah.
Son of a gun.
French.
Yeah,
You-
sorry.
We gotta get you an AeroPress.
Yeah.
Because it is game
Game
changer.
changer.
Yeah.
It is so
Love.
good.
Is the cleaning process?
It's actually really not
it's
that bad.
really
It's
easy.
super easy.
It's so
It's
simple.
better than the actual
Espresso
French press.
machine.
Yeah.
And an espresso machine. It's so easy.
Yeah.
And lately I've just been taking it over just oat milk and some caramel.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay, that's a nice way to start a freaking Saturday morning.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I got 4 blends. I'm what would you call alternating
Yeah.
between right now. Bricks is one of them, and then my buddy, I can't remember what island he's from. My roommate actually is from Hawaii.
Oh no way.
He got me and the rest of my roommates a bag, and then I've got 2 OG Alpha Coffee. That's where I worked
Nice.
during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Brandon, what we didn't get an answer from you. How do you drink your coffee?
I would say either espresso, 2 shot of espresso,
Uh-huh.
and a latte.
A latte?
He's
Yeah.
a latte
Hot or
guy.
iced?
Depends. It depends.
Just depends on the weather. Depends on like just how you're feeling.
How I'm feeling that day.
This is an
you
important
know?
question, bro. This is probably the most important question. I'm just drilling you. I love coffee and I'm obsessed. And
I love coffee too. That's why.
He'll drink it iced because that's the only way that I will make it.
Yeah.
I'm not a hot coffee type of person. I don't care if it's like 10
Ever?
degrees outside.
Ever?
Very rarely. Okay, this is the Filipino in me coming out. The only time I will drink hot coffee is if I have it's called pandesal, and it's just a Filipino roll. That's the only time I'll drink hot coffee.
Just
is if
pairs
I
really
have-
nicely?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If I don't have that, iced coffee, blended, whatever. That's
It's-
how I take it.
It's called Pandesal.
Mhm.
Pandesal.
Okay. All
You
right.
take it and you dip it in the coffee.
And you said a little splash of oat milk and some
Oat milk?
caramel in there?
Oh yeah.
No, okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Bricks Coffee. One more time. We didn't even get to everything. Where's the best place where listeners can go to find out a little bit more about what you're doing as entrepreneurs? Maybe re-up on their coffee. We can put it in the description, but also for the listeners, like, get that plug in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything is linked on our social media. So princess.kailani on everything. That's KAIULANI. And it's all on our website too, Princess-K. That's where you get access to everything that we do.
And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at the Brandon Moore.
And Bricks Coffee is Bricks, BRYCKS coffee.
Thank you. And you can check out the sick new merch right
Yes.
there up top.
We'll have to get you one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been part 2 with the Morelands, Princess and Brandon. Muchos gracias. Thank you for sharing your story as a couple and putting up with my stupid jokes and all the times I say Folks, this is episode 45 of Behind the Energy. Thank you for listening, for watching, and we'll catch you next week for another episode. Until then, namaste, hasta la vista.
See y'all later.
That is a wrap. Thank you for listening and going behind the energy with me. If you loved it, thumbs up it. You can follow me on social media at Parker Andriese and check us all out at bringingtheenergy.com. As for now, we are signing off, and I'll catch you next week for another episode. Peace.